On the bank of a wide river, under the shade of a tall fruit tree, lived a clever and cheerful monkey. One afternoon, a hungry crocodile came to the riverbank. He looked weak and tired. The monkey, seeing his state, called out kindly,
"You look hungry, friend. Would you like some fruit?"
Oh, thank you. I haven't eaten in days.
From that day forward, the monkey shared fruit with the crocodile every day. They laughed, talked, and became good friends. The monkey felt happy to have someone to talk to. The crocodile, too, enjoyed the monkey's company and kindness. One evening, the crocodile took some fruits home for his wife. She ate them and liked them very much. But she was greedy. She said,
"If these fruits are so sweet, the monkey's heart must be even sweeter. Bring me the monkey's heart."
The monkey is my friend.
Confused and torn, the crocodile struggled with guilt. But in the end, he gave in.
My friend, my wife wants to meet you. She has cooked a special meal for you. Come with me.
That sounds wonderful.
He jumped onto the crocodile's back. The crocodile swam across the river. But when they reached the middle of the river, the crocodile said,
My friend, I am sorry. My wife wants your heart. I must give it to her.
The monkey was clever. He thought fast. Then he laughed and said,
"Oh, my dear friend, why didn't you tell me earlier? I left my heart on the tree."
The crocodile, desperate and confused, turned back toward the riverbank. As soon as they reached the shore, the monkey leapt up into the branches of his tree. He looked down sadly and said,
"You were never a true friend. I gave you kindness and trust. You gave me lies and betrayal. Go away and never come back."
The crocodile felt ashamed and swam away, and the monkey lived happily on his tree again.
Hey everyone, gather around, because I've got a story that you'll want to hear. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village by the hills, there was a young shepherd boy. Every morning, he'd lead his fluffy sheep up the green grassy hill and watch them munch on tasty grass under a shady tree. But after a while, the boy started to feel, well, bored. He sighed. It's the same thing every day. Nothing ever happens here. And then, a sneaky idea popped into his head. Hee! What if I shout wolf and see what the villagers do, he thought. So he jumped up and yelled, "Wolf! Wolf! A wolf is chasing my sheep! Help!" All the villagers came running, worried faces and all. "Where's the wolf? Let's save the sheep!" they shouted. But the boy giggled, "Ha ha ha! Got you all! There's no wolf! I was just joking!" One villager shook his head and said, "Boy, don't cry wolf when there isn't one. It's not funny." Well, the very next day, the boy got bored again. "Let's do it one more time, just for fun," he whispered. So he yelled, "Wolf! Wolf! Help me! The wolf is here again!" And again, the villagers rushed up the hill, worried and panting. But there was no wolf. The boy laughed. "Ha ha ha! You all fell for it again!" But this time the villagers frowned. "This isn't funny, young man. Don't lie, or no one will trust you." Just then, a real wolf crept out from the forest. The boy screamed, "Wolf! Wolf! Help! Please! This time it's real!" But down in the village, the people just shook their heads. "He's only fooling us again. No one should go for him," they said. The boy pleaded, "Please, someone help! It's real this time." But nobody believed him, and the wolf took away many of the poor sheep. When the villagers finally came, they asked, "What happened, boy?" The boy cried, "The wolf came for real and attacked my sheep. But no one believed me." The villagers sighed and said, "When you lie, even for fun, no one will believe you, even when you tell the truth." And from that day on, the boy never lied again. He learned that trust is precious. Once you break it, it's hard to earn back. So remember, always tell the truth.
Once upon a time, in a peaceful forest, there lived a hare who was very proud of his speed. He would often boast to all the other animals, "Look how fast I can run. No one can beat me in a race." Near him lived a tortoise who was quiet and slow, but steady and thoughtful. One day, tired of hearing the hare's taunts, the tortoise spoke up. "Hare, You brag so much about your speed. Why don't we have a race? We'll see who wins. The hare laughed out loud. You race me? That's ridiculous. But if you insist, I'll accept your challenge. Let's pick a course and see. They agreed, and a fox was chosen to be the judge. The fox marked a start line, a finish line, and gathered all the animals in the forest to watch. Ready, set, go. The hare ran forward with lightning speed, while the tortoise always coming slowly behind the hare. After a while, the hare stopped from running in the race and checked how far the tortoise is behind. He noticed the tortoise is far behind him, a few miles behind him. Confident of victory, he thought he can rest some before the tortoise comes near to him. So the hare decided to rest under a shady tree and started resting for a while. He lay down and drifted into a deep sleep. Meanwhile, the tortoise kept going. He walked slowly, but he did not stop. Step by step, he moved forward, always consistent, always calm. Eventually, the hare awoke. He yawned and looked ahead. To his horror, he saw the tortoise was about to reach the finish line. Panicking, the hare darted off at full speed, but it was too late. The tortoise crossed the finish line first. The forest erupted in cheers. The hare had lost. The tortoise had won. The hare learned the lesson.
Once upon a time, on a warm, sunny day, I saw an ant and a grasshopper in a beautiful green meadow. The little ant was hard at work, carrying grains of food one by one back to her cozy nest. She didn't stop, not even for a second, because she knew winter would come soon, and she wanted to be ready. Not too far away, the grasshopper was having the time of his life. He sat on a big green leaf, playing his tiny violin, singing and dancing under the sunshine. He noticed the ant and called out, "Hey, ant! Why don't you stop working and enjoy this lovely day with me?" The ant smiled and shook her head. "I'm storing food for winter," she said kindly. "You should do the same. When the snow comes, there won't be any food left in the meadow." But the grasshopper just laughed and said, "Oh, winter is so far away. I'll worry about that later." And off he went, jumping and singing, while the little ant kept working hard every single day. Soon the days got colder. The sky turned gray, and snow covered the ground. All the food in the meadow disappeared, and the grasshopper was cold and hungry. He shivered his way to the ant's house and knocked on her door. "Dear ant," he said softly, "I'm so hungry. Could you share some food with me?" The ant looked at him with kind eyes. "I worked hard all summer to store this food," she said. "Next time, remember to prepare like I did." The grasshopper nodded, understanding his mistake. From that day on, he promised himself to work hard too. So remember, working hard today helps you live happily tomorrow. That's the magic of a little effort and planning ahead. Moral of the story: work hard today for a better tomorrow.
Once upon a time, in a quiet little village, there lived a kind farmer. He worked very hard every day, taking care of his animals and his small farm. One morning, when he went to check his goose's nest, he gasped in surprise. There, shining in the straw, was a beautiful golden egg.
Wow, a golden egg. I can sell this and make some money.
The next day, the farmer found another golden egg, and the next day, another. Day after day, the goose laid a golden egg. The farmer became rich and no longer had to worry about money. But soon greed started to grow in his heart.
If this goose lays golden eggs, there must be a lot of gold inside her.
If I take it all at once, I'll be the richest man in the world.
So one morning, the greedy farmer decided to cut open the goose. But when he looked inside, there was no gold at all, just like any other goose. And now, his wonderful goose was gone forever. The farmer had lost the very thing that brought him good fortune. So, children, remember, greed destroys the source of good fortune. Be patient, be kind, and be grateful for what you have. And that's the story of the goose that laid the golden eggs.
Once upon a time, there was a poor boy named Jack who lived with his mother in a small, cozy house. They had a cow, but it didn't give much milk, and they were very hungry. One day, Jack's mother told him to take the cow to the market and sell it. On the way, Jack met a strange old man who offered him magic beans in exchange for the cow. Jack felt curious and agreed to trade. When Jack returned home, his mother was upset. She said the beans were useless and threw them out the window. The next morning, Jack woke up and wow! He saw a giant beanstalk growing up into the clouds. Feeling excited and, really brave, Jack began to climb. Up, and up he went, until finally he reached a magical land above the clouds. At the top, Jack saw a giant's castle. Inside lived a giant who had wonderful treasures and, a magical hen that laid golden eggs. Jack was careful and quiet as he took some treasure and made his way back home. But one day, the giant noticed Jack and chased him. Jack ran down the beanstalk as fast as he could and called for his mother to help him. Together, they cut down the beanstalk and the giant fell. From that day on, Jack and his mother lived happily, safe and comfortable, with the treasures Jack had brought home.
In a quiet meadow stood a tall old oak tree, and on one of its highest branches lived a crow named Coco. Coco was shiny, clever, and just a little too proud of himself. Coco loved showing off. He often puffed out his feathers and said,
"Ask me anything. I know every secret of the forest."
The smaller birds looked up to him, believing he truly was the wisest creature around. One warm morning, a young robin fluttered up to Coco.
"We found a strange berry bush by the river. Do you know if it's safe to eat?"
Coco didn't know anything about that berry bush, but he didn't want to look clueless. So, pretending to be wise, he nodded boldly.
"Oh yes, those berries are perfectly safe. They make your feathers extra shiny."
The robin trusted Coco and hurried back to tell the others. Soon, a small flock of birds gathered around the berry bush. Just as one little bird opened its beak to take a bite.
Stop! Those berries are poisonous. No bird should eat them. Did you tell them those berries were safe, Coco?
I just didn't want everyone to think I didn't know the answer.
Pretending to know something is far more dangerous than admitting you don't. Wisdom comes from honesty.
Coco felt ashamed, but he apologized to the birds. They forgave him, and Coco learned an important lesson. It's okay not to know everything, but pretending can cause trouble for everyone. From that day on, Coco used the wisest words of all.